Alright guys, I was going to show you something that I did to this snowmobile. This is my 1200 2016 what is it, a Rev XS, It's a pretty good sled. This thing steers heavy. I put on the USI skis. I run the dualies because I cannot stand the darting. This eliminates it completely. This thing drives straight as all heck. So, what I did, that made it steer really heavy. This thing steered very heavy. So, what I ended up doing was, I seen on a website, I don't want to say the name, kind of used their idea, but they didn't, I don't think they make them for Skidoos, they make them for Yamahas. They call them power steering plates. Is right here. I made these, machined these, well, I cut these out of a piece of aluminum. I believe it's a 1/2 inch or 12 mil or something like that. And I machined them, or I just kept grinding away on them to get them to fit this shape. I don't know how to show you very well, but this has kind of got a high spot here and it runs down. So I put that high spot in here. You just kept working it until it sat down and pinches this. It slides in there really nicely. And then I drilled a hole for the original tie rod where it goes in and bolted it in there tight. This baby's on there tight. I mean, I put some force to her. And then I drilled a hole here and used that. I added a little extra material just in case I was going to do this. But I put it here for 2 seasons, I believe, and it helped a lot, right? When you put it here, problem is, that was as far as I could go with this. I had to take a little bit of meat off the tie rod, or the sway bar end length there. So it's held up. There's room there. It never broke. You can see it rubs when you lift it up in the air. That's when it was rubbing always. Otherwise it didn't touch. Here I can show you on my wife's sled. I still have those on hers, but I didn't put the extended ones yet. I don't think I'll need to. This is a 900. It's a little lighter. So here, you can see how close that is right there. It's close. Okay, and this one only comes out to here. I don't even have the extra material on this one to make it longer. I believe these were the originals. I can't remember. Actually, I don't think so. I think the other ones were the originals. So, anyways, same deal. Cut them out to a certain size. I don't get all specs somewhere. And then slowly took away material on an angle like this to follow this extruded line. Whoops, sorry. This extruded line that tapers this way up and up on both sides. The back's not as much. And that way you slip it on there, it's completely tight, it's pinched in there, and then bolted it on. And this line, I can't remember what I did. I don't know if I changed it much. I believe I moved it in a couple thousandths of an inch, maybe 60, maybe 30, I forget what it was. But my alignment didn't change. I wrote it down, I don't remember. So I didn't have to adjust the tie rods or anything. But even if you do, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, that's simple. With these USI skis, I always measure from a lip to lip on the actual ski plate here, which gives you a good, accurate measurement. But anyway, thought I'd show you that. If you experience the heavy steering on these big 1200s, this helps. I mean, first trip this year, we went up to Michigan, up to White Pine, Michigan, and I kind of forgot to put them on there. I did it, early in the year, and all of a sudden, everybody was complaining their shoulders were sore and this and that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not complaining this time, which is odd because we were running some pretty hefty, bumpy trails, but these, I believe, was a lot to do with that. Oh, and the other thing I had to do, all right, I almost forgot, is here where the tie rods pick up now, I ended up, what did I do in here? Oh, I ended up taking, I welded on an extra piece here. I don't know if you can see that. I welded on an extra piece. I welded it to the A-frame. And I don't think I pulled the A-frame. No, I didn't. I didn't pull it off. I just cleaned everything up, and it's just a straight piece, and then I cut it to the shape here, and I welded it on top, I welded it behind, and I bolted it. So it's bolted here. And it's backed up, I think, 1 inch. As you can see, the tie rod sits back now, and it's only 1/8 inch material. You can see how that goes, but there's not much sticking out past that weld, just the bolt. I can't really get in there to show you decent. Oops, I'll grab a light here. There we go. See how this looks? I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, it's not the best. See it right there. Well, I guess you really can't, but it's right there. It's probably terrible, but there, you can kind of see what I'm looking at. Worked well. It didn't break. Like I said, only 1 trip. But I tell you what, that 1 trip, these things got pounded. Those trails were 1-footers to 1/2 foot stutter bumps for 10 or 20 miles straight. They were pretty rough. I know the groomers, they do what they can, but man, I don't know. I'm not a groomer. I would think they could knock them down a little more, but you know, you get spoiled, and it is what it is. All right, guys. I don't know. I just wanted to show you that. I like them, and maybe you can do something like that if you have issues with it too, especially if you're running them dualies.